Hi everyone, my name is Teacher Kaligo Njige or Teacher Kadonj, the word analyst and the young African writer from Tanzania, East Africa. Yes, dear listeners, especially readers of different little books like short stories, novel, play, and poems. Yes, today I have brought to you the short story, or I can say a novel known as The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie from Nigeria. This woman, author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, wrote this novel or short stories titled The Thing Around Your Neck as a feminist or as the feminism novel about the Africans women's. She wrote to struggle against the issue of injustice, the issue of exploitation to the women's or to the women's. Okay, dear listeners, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie published her short stories collection "The Thing Around Your Neck" in the year of 2009 in Nigeria. The stories focus on the experiences of Nigerians, the culture, clash problems of Nigerians, Americans, and on the universal human issues of relationships and interactions. Adichie, highly specific, realistic writing is tying with a dark pathos and a sense of potential unsolvable disturbance laid over the world she describes. The first story, titled as Cell 1, tells the stories of narrator's brother, Namabia, a teenager who falls in with a thuggish crew of delinquents who target the professor of a neighbor college. After the murder of Professor, Namabia is arrested and thrown into a horribly abusive prison. There, Namabia at first pretends to be so tough that he enjoys prison life, but soon he witnesses the torture of an innocent man in the prison's infamous Cell 1, a torture chamber. Meanwhile, Namabia's professor parents use every unethical means at their disposal to get him released. After Namabia is let out, his attitude has been transformed, but the story exposes and corruption inherent in the justice system in Nigeria. Switching the setting to America, imitation follows a young mother, Nkemi, whose Nigeria art dealer husband sets her up in an apartment near Philadelphia, but only comes to visit 2 months out of the year. The story traces both Nkemi's relationship with her Nigerian maid and also her discover that her husband has invited his mistress to move into their home in Lagos. In a private experience told, Adichie explores the difference between Nigerians of different backgrounds, while Chika, a Christian Igbo woman, is visiting her aunt in the ancient city of Kano. With her sisters Ned, the neighborhood explodes into a riot fed by religious violence between Christians and Muslims. The sisters separated in the crowd and Chika ducks into an abandoned shop where a Hausa Muslim woman is also taking shelter from the fighting. At the two women's age, towards a mutual understanding taking about motherhood, Chika is consumed by thoughts about having a word through mutualities to find her sister. The fourth story, Ghosties, features the reminiscence of retired math professor who re-examines his life after running into a former colleague, a colleague the professor had believed to have been killed in the Biafra War years earlier. The man's survival is a mystery that is unwilling to share with the professor, and the encounter leaves the professor shaken. The professor later experiences another vision of the past, the ghost of his late wife. On Monday of last week, Stoll explores the experience of Karama, a recent Nigeria transplant to America, bored with being a stay-at-home wife. She became a nun to a wealthy family in Philadelphia and finds herself drawn into an undefined romantic or sexual connection with the mother whose child she nannies. As trust breaks off the romance, their former desire for each other gives rise to jealousies, obsessions, and frustrations. The story lays out through their relationship the way in which being a black African is complicated in this less conscious country. The next story, Jumping Monk Hill, explores what it is like to be an expert Nigerian elsewhere in the world. South Africa, an obnoxious, sexist, white woman who thinks he has an exclusive on finding. The African Voice runs a multiracial writers' retreat in Cape Town, a retreat attended by the narrator, Onjunwa, who finds herself submissively accepting the man's sexual, degrading treatment because of her internalized misogyny. The story is highly autobiographical and indignant takedown of the patriarch and racist attitude still prevalent throughout the continent. The seven stories gives the collection its name, told in the second person. The thing around your neck is about you. You being Akuna, a young woman who wins the high-priced American visa that will enable you to immigrate, although your family jealous predict ease and riches in your future. The reality is quite the opposite. The service job you are forced to take is demeaning, with bosses who pay you below minimum wage. Then the uncle with whom you stay sexual assaults you. Each night when you try to sleep, something would wrap itself around your neck, something that well near choked you before you fell asleep. For a little while, this choking is up when you find a decent boyfriend, but it does not end up being the solution to your problem. The story ends with you working as waitress in connecting. Another story, The American Embassy, describes a woman waiting in line at the embassy to apply for asylum in the United States. As hours go by, she watches the other applicant and thinking about what brought her here. Her husband was a Democrat activist who had already managed to escape abroad. In retaliation, the dictatorial government of General Abacha tortured and murdered her son Uguna. When it is final time for her to declare her reasons for needing asylum, she faces an unsympathetic cold bureaucrat whose manner makes her abandon her pill. She simplifies. Can't face trying to describe her son's murder to this unfeeling 14-year-old. It would disown the young man's memory. Set at Princeton University, the shivering describes the comfort that two people find in each other. A young Catholic Nigerian woman whose boyfriend has dumped her and a young evangelical Nigerian man upset by the recent plan clash play together. Although their face expressions are different, they bond and try to grow beyond their previous unhealthy relationship. The collection's 10 stories is the arrangers of marriage. Chinasa, recently married in an arranged marriage, moves to New York to be with her husband. However, once in America, she sees that he has entirely discarded with his Nigerian identity, so much so that he has even changed his name from Ofodial Emeka Undwenwa to Dave Bell. The more critical he is of her preference, the more he demands that she also transform herself into an American. The more she resists. In Tomorrow is Too Far, this is another story. Adichie again uses a second person narrator. This time you is an unnamed young woman whose family was devastated by the death of their firstborn son when he was a small child. As the story goes on, she explains the secret at the heart of what happened when he fell out of a tree. The final story, the headstrong historian, is generational saga. Nwagba believes that her husband's cousin murdered him. As the way of getting back what she thinks is her rightful inheritance of land, she sent her son to be educated by missionaries, whom Adichie portrays with deep critical eye. Instead of simply teaching him, the missionaries convert him away from his roots entirely, and he abandoned any concern for justice for his father's death or his mother's quest for her land. However, in the next generation, his daughter Grace stays to dig into her historical records of her background as she learns about what happened to her grandfather. She adopts her origin more full, taking the clan names Afa Mfuna and reclaiming her Nigerian identity to her grandmother delight. That is the end of the plot summary of the short story or novel titled The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Dear listeners, especially readers of different books, the title of this novel or short story, The Thing Around Your Neck, I can say it is indirect title because it's not direct. It does not reflect directly the main characters, who is Akuna, a woman, a Nigerian woman who go to start, who went to America or USA for studying, and later got quarrels with uncle. And also, apart from the title, as I said, it is indirect title. Also, should be the setting. The main setting is Nigeria, after independence of Nigeria, and also another setting is America, because the author of this novel located two settings, Nigeria and America. And the style employed by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie is the use of narration. She tried to narrate the stories about a woman, Akuna, and the other characters and the other stories. Apart from the narration, is the style employed by author. Another style is the use of point of view, second point of view, pronoun you, and the third person point of view, pronoun she, they, and they, and also apart from the point of view, there is the use of dialogue. Some characters make conversations in each other, and also apart from the style, also should note the plot. And this short story or novel has 12 stories. Have 12 stories with different events and incidents. Apart from plot, also Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie portrayed or employed main characters in this short story, The Thing Around Your Neck. Apart from the characters employed by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, they said main characters, but the main character is Akuna, a woman from Nigeria. went to study to USA or America. Another things you should know, the language used employed by Chimamanda and Ngozi Adichie. Example, one of the language used the use of symbolism. The word neck. Neck is the stand for a symbol, symbolize the woman's, and also the symbolize the evils. Yeah? The main concept is the evils. There is the evils uh, happening to the women's portrayed by the author. Apart from the symbolism, also the full of imageal. There is different imageal, olfactory images, visual images employed in this short story. The things around your neck. Another things you should know about, apart from the language used, you should the themes. The main themes of this short story is the issue of feminism. The main themes is feminism. That's why the author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie wrote this short story so as to educate, especially the women, African women, the world women about their rights. They should struggle against the issue of exploitations, the issue of racism, or the issue of segregation in different sectors, and also wrote this short story so as to criticize the issue of exploitation to the women. And also she wrote these short stories so as to educate the new generation, especially the young girls, the young girls about their rights. They should wake up to struggle against the injustice. Apart from another themes or sub-themes or minor themes employed by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, the use of another is the issue of exploitations, the issue of sexual harassments, the issue of death. We see there's a death, different deaths to the characters. Apart from this, also another thing is the issue of classes. There's a different classes, American people and the Africans, Americans and the Africans in different sectors. Apart from the classes, also there is an issue of injustice to the Africans, especially the women in Nigeria and also in America. Apart from them, also the message. That's why Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie wrote this short story so as to educate the readers, especially the young people, and also the readers of books. That's why Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie educate us on the issue of feminism. We should struggle for women's rights. Apart from women's rights, also we should struggle against exploitation, especially to the women. We should struggle against classes. That's why we should work together with women so as to eliminate the issue of classes. Another, apart from the messages employed by the author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, you should know the conflict. We see there is a social conflict among the society, and also there is characters. Apart from the social conflict, there is the issue of family conflict. Example, Akuna and her uncle. And apart from the family conflict, there is another conflict. There is interpersonal conflict between one person to another persons. Apart from conflict, also should know the role and the position of women. That's why the women is portrayed as a patriotic person. Women portrayed as the one who are aware against the exploitations. Also, women portrayed as revolutionists against exploitations. Women portrayed as the hard workers. Women portrayed as the intelligent person in this short story. Apart from the role and position of women, another thing is the issue of relevance. That's why this short story, the things around your neck, is still relevant today. That's why even in our society there is the issue of feminism. There is a women's struggle for their rights, and also even in our society there is the issue of patriotic. There is a women's struggle against the issue of exploitation, the issue of classes, and women's struggle for their rights against the issue of family separations. Apart from the relevance, the last things you should know is the philosophy. We should know the philosophy of the author. Amanda Ngozi Adichie believes on the issue of feminism. That's why I wrote these short stories on her novel on the issue of women's rights. Women should know their rights, should make decisions in their families or in the societies. That's why I wrote this novel, so as to educate and to wake up the women to struggle for their rights. That is the end of the short story, or the beloved short story by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie from Nigeria. The narrator of this short story, The Thing Around Your Neck, the man from Tanzania, East Africa, teacher Kaligo Njige, the man of literature, and the young African writer, the world journalist. Thank you for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment below this video. Thank you, my dear listener.